When I was a full-time student in physical therapy, I was also training full-time in team handball because my goal was to do the Olympics. And I remember that I would never attend parties with other people from my class because I didn't have time. I was training so much. And the first time that I attended a party, you know what happened? A standing ovation. Everybody was so happy I was there. I got that standing ovation. Have you ever gotten a standing ovation? It's awesome. So in this video, I will explain to you how to become the go-to person in your industry. Hi, I'm Fabienne Raphaël, business coach for high achievers, and I'll help you monetize your knowledge so you can fire your boss. And today, yes, I want to share with you how to become the go-to person in your industry. Okay. The first thing that you have to do, that you must do, okay, it might seem kind of like normal or maybe intuitive, but it's just to be yourself. Okay, so, oh yeah, you mean be myself? Yes, I mean full in, 100% yourself. When you're trying to put a hat that is not yours, what happens? You don't feel comfortable with it. You don't feel aligned with it. So the message that comes out is not yours, right? So if you want to modelize someone that you really admire and you try to shape your personality around that person, guess what? It will seem off, right? People will feel like, hey, wait a minute, I've seen that type of attitude somewhere else. Or they'll feel like something is off with you, okay? So there's never any type of way that trying to copy or modelize someone is useful to you in your own business, okay? I'm sure that you've tried it out maybe before, trying to act as someone else, or maybe as a kid, maybe you played that game or whatsoever, but trying to remember like the feelings that you had. Like, did you feel right or wrong? Did it feel right or wrong? I'm sure that it didn't feel aligned. And when you don't feel aligned, well, maybe it's not with what you say, but how you say it and what your movements are. People will feel that you don't feel comfortable saying certain things. So there's no way that copying or being someone else is going to serve you. So be yourself, completely authentic, show up as your true self, and the people who like you and love you will continue to follow you, and those who don't love you, well, too bad, they're not part of your crowd and you don't care. You don't care. You just stick with the ones who want to follow you, who care about you, and who eventually want to work with you. Concentrate on these people. It's funny how, especially on social media, when one person disagrees, all the attention is on that one person who disagrees. Well, what about the 3,500 other people who agree with you, right? Just focus on them, okay? They're worth putting your energy on. You also have to develop your micro celebrity status. Okay, so what I mean by that is the more that your places, the more people will have several ways of getting your content and the more they'll know about you. Okay, so let me give you an example. I can give you my own example. Well, when I first started online, what I started online seriously was my podcast. So there was a way there for people to find me, to listen to me, to my content, what I was doing with my podcast. I've also been interviewed on several podcasts, and I continue to do the same thing because I feel that it's other platforms in front of other people. I'm sharing my content, and some people might be aware of who I am just by listening to these other interviews that I'm giving all over the web. Also, there are social media appearances, like for example, if someone has a private community and they want to have me as an expert to talk to their members on a certain topic about building their coaching business, creating their offer, I can talk about that, right? So again, I'm in front of other audiences. You can do that with your YouTube channel, right? Like I'm doing here. So if you love YouTube and you love to learn more about creating and building your coaching business, well, you subscribe to my channel and you listen to that content there. Okay, so basically when someone types your name on the web, so if you go ahead and type my name on the web, you will find plenty of information about me. In fact, you'll probably have like at least 5 pages of interviews, of major publication appearances, of YouTube videos, of my social media profiles and all that stuff. And that's what you want, because you want people to be aware of where you're at, what you're doing, and you want them to consume the information differently. Not necessarily always the same way, because this is how they see the different aspects of your personality and that they want to stick with you even more. Someone who loves you, someone who works with you, and someone who's like a true fan will actually subscribe to everything that you're doing. And they'll keep coming back and do business with you again and again. What you have to do also to position you as a go-to person in your market is to not be shy to share your results, right? If your client has a win, well, celebrate them. Celebrate your client and show that what you're doing is working, actually. We're not talking about bragging. I'm not talking about the fact that you should see yourself like here and everybody else has to be down there. I'm talking about, sharing the great news that your clients are having success and what you're doing is working. Because remember that when people want to do business with you, one of the first things that they're going to look for is testimonials. Like, have you done stuff with other people before? And a lot of beginners in coaching, they are shy about that. And they're like, oh my God, I have not worked with anyone yet, so I can't share anything yet. That's not true. Who have you helped before you started your business, your coaching business? A ton of people. So it could be a friend that you've helped in the past, or it could be a family member or whatsoever, but someone who testifies that, there's that side of your personality that they appreciate and that helped them overcome a challenge or transform their lives or whatsoever. So you could always find someone who has something to share about you. You have to make people know, like, and trust you. Okay. When I say that you have to make people know you, well, it's about showing up, like building your micro celebrity status, as I told you earlier. Like you, well, it depends. If you stand up for your values and you truly show who you are and you share your personality and you share like what you love, what you dislike, well, of course, people who are going to stick with you are going to stick with you for a long time. And trust, well, it has to do with, what you're doing. Is it working or not? So the more that you're sharing your clients' results, or the more that you're sharing that the framework that you're using is getting results, well, the better it is for you and for your reputation, because it shows that what you do works. It builds your authority and credibility. Okay. And finally, you got to enjoy what you're doing. I mean, if you're doing something and you never smile, you're never happy about it, you talk about it and you're like very monotone and stuff like that, well, you won't attract anyone to your business. It's just going to be like a dead end. And eventually you'll stop and you'll feel like it's not working. And it's because you're not enthusiastic about it, right? But you got to be aware that sometimes it has to do with like a mindset issue. It already happened to one of my friends where she had a period in her business where she was completely bored. And it was because she was working with someone at that point that was not necessarily like the right person for her. And it didn't help her overcome that phase in her business. But now she's back on track because she got the right fit and she got the right person to help her out. Right? So enjoy what you're doing. If you're not enjoying it, well, just like let it go, right? And we talk about that like maybe earlier in a lot of videos. When you decide to embrace like your true life mission and you feel that this is what you need to do, I hope that you love what you're doing. Because if you don't, well, guess what? Your clients will feel it and they'll start to just like leave you and go away. And your business will just die. And this is not what you want. You want your business to thrive and to stay forever and ever. And that's what I love with working with my clients, is that whenever I ask them how long they want to be in business, they're like, what do you mean? I'll ever have to stop? Yeah, that's the type of attitude you need to have with your coaching business. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel to get to the new videos every Tuesdays and Fridays. And I will see you in the next video.